Welcome, collectors. Thank you for tuning in to this installment of Diecast Emporium. As you can see in front of you, we're going to be reviewing two Vermeer models. The one on the left is the Vermeer Trencher Model V8550, which was manufactured by Diecast Promotions and distributed by Joel. The one on the right is the Vermeer Navigator Model D33x44, which was also manufactured by Diecast Promotions and distributed by Ertl. So the first one that we will start out with is the Vermeer Navigator. This model is a little bit older than the Joel model. As you can see, the model is clearly displayed on the side of the box with a description of it as well as scale 1 to 50. Underneath here you can see all the copyright information made by Diecast Promotions and distributed by Ertl. On the side there's a picture of the real machine, as well as the part number for the dealerships that used to have these. And on the back, there is the model, which features a rotating console, free rolling tracks, authentic graphics, die-cast construction, tilting rack with sliding drill. Alright, let's go ahead and get this out of the package and take a closer look at it. Alright, so there is the model. For as small as it is, and it's not, again, it's not large at all, it actually has a fair amount of detail on it. The rubber tracks don't roll very well at all, but as you can see, they do have a little bit of detail on them, being that they are made of rubber. You can see the tread pattern on them. But what really sells this model is the fact that you can pose it doing quite a number of realistic functions, including having it drill into the ground. So this would be perfect for a diorama. As well as the box said, you can move the seat so that the operator has a better field of view. And if you have a Diecast Masters figure, you can put him right in the seat there. The whole mechanism raises and lowers, and the stands or the outriggers deploy into the ground to provide added stability while it's channeling and drilling through the earth. As for the detail, you have Vermeer Navigator in decals on this side, as well as D33x34, Vermeer on the back of the operator's seat. Looking from the top down, here is the detail of the drill bit. And as you can see, this part moves as well as soon as you move it forward. So it's a very interesting piece of drilling equipment. Very cool. And certainly, again, not something that you see every day. But if you are into trenching equipment, certainly something that you want to find and add to your collection. Alright, let's move on to the trencher. We'll get that out of the package here momentarily. So this was produced just a couple years after the D33x44 was. Again, by Diecast Promotions and distributed this time by Joel, which was a Spanish company. So a little bit different style of packaging. Underneath, still the same. Manufactured by Diecast Promotions and distributed by Joel. There's your copyright information. On the side, another picture of the model. On the back, you have some pictures which describe some of the functions of the model. And here in multiple different languages, if the camera will focus, you can see the specifications of the real piece of equipment. I don't know if I mentioned this, but when these first came out, and again, these are both over 20 years old, They were both available directly from a Vermeer dealership. And then, of course, the hobby dealers acquired them for sale. But they were not particularly expensive models at all. Alright, so here is the V8550. Unlike the first one that we took a look at, the most notable difference, obviously, is this has wheels and a huge trencher on the back and a backhoe on the front. The dozing blade does raise and lower, and the primary function of that, obviously, is to stabilize the machine when you're using the backhoe portion. And it does swing left to right. It extends, and it will dig down to there, which isn't very far at all, but you can see the restrictions in the cylinders. The bucket curl is somewhat respectable and can come up to there. As for the wheels, there's no steering, but there is a decent attempt at achieving a realistic tread pattern. The trencher mechanism just folds in the out-of-service position and then also down. So again, if you wanted to pose it digging a trench, you could do that in a diorama. But the whole mechanism doesn't move at all. This auger device is also part of it, and that does move. You can turn it by hand, which is an interesting feature. But it is plastic. The main body of the trencher is die-cast for the most part. The backhoe is die-cast. The trencher mechanism is plastic. The outriggers are die-cast, but they are fixed in the out-of-service position. They don't lower, which would have been really cool had they managed to make that functional. And just like the other one, if you have a Die-Cast Masters Bob operator figure, you can finagle him and put him behind the operator's seat. Just like that. Now, both of these do make good loads on a tag trailer. So here we have, if you're not familiar, this is a Die-Cast Masters Kenworth dump truck. This is a first gear tag trailer. So let's see how the two would look when loaded up with these pieces of Vermeer equipment. So let's first load on the V8550. Make sure that we have our trencher up and our dozer blade up as high as it will go. And there you have it. So that's how that one looks. Pretty respectable. And as for the D33x44, we'll do the same thing. Make sure we have this raised. Drive it up here. Put it down. Flip our loading ramps up. And there you have it. So there you have it, collectors. That is a review of both the Diecast Promotions Vermeer trenchers and bidirectional drills in 1:50 scale. Both of these models, again, long been discontinued, so if you're interested in acquiring these, you are going to have to do a little bit of research in the secondary market to find them. Some of the hobby distributors may have some in stock, but I haven't seen really any for quite a while. They're great little additions to any diorama or any collection. Certainly in terms of if you're doing, obviously, any trenching work, you're going to want to add these to your collection. If you guys have any comments or questions, you know where to leave them. Please leave them down in the comments section below, and let me know which of these two is your favorite. Until next time, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.